versus, I feel like in saying that secular people, it's only when secular people, that there's an alignment between secular people and religious people in abortion.
No, secular people, and so religious people and secular people in our day and age are by and large going to say they believe in human rights.
Okay.
And they're going to say they believe in human equality.
Okay.
And they're going to say things like lives matter.
Yes.
The problem is if you say, okay, so let's test that.
Okay.
Like to the religious person, you say that lives matter.
Okay.
Well, are you protecting these lives equally to those lives?
Okay.
And if they're not, they're being hypocritical.
Okay.
Now, to the secular person, if you say, do you really believe that lives matter?
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, man, I've got a flag flying from my car. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
Then where does life begin?
Okay.
Do you believe humans have rights? And then pretty soon you'll find out that they don't actually believe in human rights. That's what I was saying. That they believe in the kind of humans that I am for should have rights. And so they're no different than any other dehumanizing culture in the past that took a particular set of people and said that they weren't as valuable as the other people.
So why aren't born people have more rights than things that are not really there?
Well, they are really there. If they weren't really there, you wouldn't have to abort them.
I feel, though, you're underpinning it on religion, right?
So that if you read that pamphlet, so it's a hard-hitting verse in the Bible that says God hates our hands. God hates the hands that shed innocent blood. It's like Proverbs 6:14.
Okay.
So the question is,
it's supposed to hit you.
So the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it's supposed to hit you hard.
The Statue of Liberty. I mean, it's supposed to be true and propaganda, but the Statue of Liberty, like when they found this country, they said we believe that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right? But they were total hypocrites, because at the same time that they had the Declaration of Independence, they had slaves. So there was an inconsistency. So it was right when the abolitionists came on the scene and said,
You can have the
when the abolitionists came on the scene and they said straight up,
my God.
yeah,
Okay.
it's an actual picture of an actual thing that you may be for.
Am I
I like how you question.
I don't know. You looked at it and you looked at the image.
I'll be honest with
you
you.
looked
This
at
is
the
a little too much.
Yeah, you looked at the image and you're like, ah. But what I found is that people who don't like the images
My
are
thing
for
is,
making them.
I'm for amputation, and if you showed me an amputated leg right after the amputation, it would be just as graphic.
Well, is that a valid argument?
I think showing it,
Uh-huh.
this is
Right.
rhetoric. What you're doing here is rhetoric.
No,
Because you're trying to
No.
appeal to this
I'm hearing you out.
horrified
I'm hearing you out.
idea
But the
that-
thing is what if there's something really evil is being done to some people group,
Okay.
and I get a picture of it,
Okay.
and all these other people are running around saying, we're not lynching people, shut up. We're not racist.
Okay, but can we let's?
And I showed him.
I don't think we equate lynching
No.
to abortion.
Okay,
in this.
hold on a second. Can I borrow?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an actual photograph of an actual abortion at like 11, 12 weeks.
Okay.
All right. So some people are running around saying that's not bad. You say like, okay, if this isn't bad, then you're okay with me showing it to everybody, right? So it's not me switching from one evil to another evil in an invalid way. It's to say, is it blanket wrong for human rights activists to show the kind of evil that they're fighting?
Do you agree? Yeah, no, I agree.
Because it.
I already
just-
told him my argument.
just-
There's just too many nuances. I don't think it can be.
Saying there's a lot of nuances isn't an argument. It's just saying there's a lot of nuances. You have to
But
say
I don't think your argument is an argument.
Well,
because
I
you're
would-
bringing religion to it. And
Well, yeah, it's a fundamental. Did you want it?
I actually do want
It's
it.
a fundamental theologically based argument on the part of the abolitionists, because we do believe that human beings are made in the image of God, and because human beings are made in the image of God,
Be here at 4.
I will. You going to class?
Yeah.
Hey, I'd love to talk to you. And I'm still. I haven't moved. I had this foot planted and didn't move it until you came back. I'm just kidding. But yes, yeah, criminalize it. All right.
Yeah. What were you saying about abortion is murder? You know it.
I was talking a whole bunch to you, and then I was waiting for you to come back and tell me stuff.
Sorry, I had to pause. Reiterate your points. I wasn't altogether here.
Oh, I think we were saying, because you didn't seem to like transitioning from like thinking properly about this today to like looking at other times. Like that seemed kind of, you were like, don't do that. Because I didn't say it like, so looking at an image of an abortion, and then you said, well, I wouldn't show an amputation.
Yes. Also, abolitionist rising. You're
Abolitionist.
Yourself to.
You're an abolitionist?
You're an abolitionist?
Yeah.
It's your
In
job.
the same way.
What's that?
It's your job. You're like coming off from work.
Yeah, I don't get to clock out until we're done with this conversation.
This is your job?
This is your job.
No. Well, I mean, in a certain sense, I do this. Yeah, I do this. So you don't go to my job. What do you don't like the word abolitionist?
I mean, considering what I have known abolitionists to be.
Well, what do you think abolitionists are?
Not this.
What?
What do you think abolitionists are?
Well,
Because
abolitionists.
you did compare
Yep.
this to lynching. So.
Well, those weren't those are civil rights people.
Yeah,
Those are
no, but
civil
I'm
rights.
just saying.
So the people who showed pictures of Emmett Till, they showed pictures of Emmett Till because they wanted people to believe and know that what was being done to that young man and to people in that entire demographic, in that entire area of the country needed to be exposed as evil. So they showed the images so that people would go, holy crap, we can't do this. So that was saying, showing imagery of the victims of violence is okay and good and has been employed by people fighting all sorts of different evils.
Okay.
So an
like
abolitionist.
in the poster or the thing that you have, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Where you show.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Isn't that so graphic?
well, it's only graphic because it's an actual photo.
That is not an actual
Okay.
photo.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so if you didn't have, let's say.
It's a
we
photo,
have-
but it's been placed inside of a
Okay,
artistic
sure.
frame.
If we have something within the first, not 12 weeks, right? If we have
Yeah,
something
this
in
is-
the first 2 weeks.
We
and a
put 12
pill is
weeks on here, but
taken-
it's probably technically 11. This human.
Okay, let's say it was 2 weeks in, and you can't have a photo to show around, to show the graphic, how graphic the
Right,
movie
yeah, but I'd still be opposed to it because my opposition to murder isn't based on how complex the person is,
Okay.
how useful, how smart, what color they are,
Sure.
what their religion is. It's just on their being a human. So the answer to what the abolitionists actually were people who thought human beings are made in the image of God and cannot be dehumanized and destroyed systematically by actions and by law. And so they stood up and they said, this is wicked, it should be abolished. There are a small minority of people doing that. The masses were like split. Like some of them were like for it, some of them are against it. Why is that why is it hard to?
Oh, I
I'm
have
not
to
just
go
to
to
go
work.
work.
Well, no, it seems like so. It seems like it's offensive to talk about it.
You're here. What do you mean?
Well, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just saying, like, whenever it's like, is there an argument for why a clear white person can't say? Well, I'm not clear. I'm so white, I'm clear. No.
Well, I think.
Because a lot of abolitionists back in the day, there were black abolitionists and white abolitionists. But you know, yes. And you know what they believed? They believed that God extremely cared about what was going on in the country. And they actually believed that he was going to judge the nation if the nation did not abolish chattel slavery. They believed that the reason you couldn't sell someone is because they're made in the image of God, and you couldn't found an entire industry on man stealing because man stealing was a capital crime against the law of God.
Yes.
So you say you're an abolitionist, but do you believe those things?
I don't. Okay, I wrote a paper on this. I think given the institution, the groundwork on which a lot of our institutions are built on.
Yeah.
Because initially, like, I don't remember the exact name of this woman, I can pull up my paper, but a lot of abolitionists, like you said, it was based off of religion.
Yeah.
Right? They were like, God says this is good.
Yeah.
And that gets into a very nasty, very gray area of respectability politics in which you are, because some of them were saying their abolitionism was based off of the idea that, you know, you are a good one. Some of them. This just feels.
Well, I would just say, like, outside of the the politics thing you're talking about, I would say as a fundamental fact in 19th century historiography of the abolitionist movement in both America and Britain, you can go to hundreds of secondary sources by scholars who are writing and teaching on the abolition, and they will all tell you that the primary fundamental drive behind the abolition movement was this belief that human beings were made in the image of God, and that it was immoral, biblically speaking, to enslave them and do all the things that were part of that system. And so they were highly religious. They were called religious fanatics, and they were told to keep their religion to themselves. When they went and held signs, people told them to stop it, and they smirked at them and laughed at them. But that's not like my opinion. That's the actual facts in history. And so whether you're looking like I could go find you a secondary source, like you could look at James McKivigan or whatever, you pull it off, and you look at, he's actually going to say, from the beginning to the end of the anti-slavery movement in America, the principal leaders.
She real for that.
Yeah, that's basically the only argument we ever get, is that sort of just laugh. Well, I'm not sad about it.
That's the only argument you ever get.
No one ever formulates like a, here's why you're wrong for these reasons. It's just sort of an emotive expression of disagreement and an expectation that the rest of culture agrees with me so I can laugh at you. But the problem is there's not a lot of reasonable explanation for abortion, or even just like how to argue.
There's not a lot of reasonable
explanation
for
like if I were to say let's put abortion to the side, put it to the side. I make the claim, I am, on account of what I believe and how I live my life, 100 times more like Frederick Douglass. You know who Frederick Douglass is, right? You know what I'm talking about? Frederick Douglass? Right. So if you were taking ideology, worldview, theological beliefs, and daily practice, I am 100 times more like Frederick Douglass than I'm guessing you are.
Oh.
And so that argument seems like, ooh, that's kind of harsh. Like, you're similar to him in one way, but I'm similar to him in like 90 ways. Right.
What way are you similar to
Frederick Douglass? I have the same belief, worldview. I believe men are made in the image of God. I believe that the country is in rebellion against God, that we need to abolish great evils.
Okay,
I believe that religion does have a role in forming a nation. I believe Frederick Douglass believed all these things. Some people like Frederick Douglass because he looks cool, but I mean, he does look cool. He looks great on the quarter. But I'm saying what he actually believes. Do you believe what Frederick Douglass believes? You think you believe what he believes?
I'm struggling to see the parallels of like you, a modern white man in society.
Right. Well, look beyond the color.
I'm similar to Frederick Douglass.
In worldview and in approach. Don't try not to look at my color.
That's very hard to, because
okay.
I have eyes.
Okay.
Sparkling.
All right.
Blue orbs.
With these blue orbs staring into mine.
All right. But that's what I'm saying. It's hard to find people that are even able to think about this. This doesn't have anything about abortion.
Yeah.
Is like I could say that I'm very similar to William Lloyd Garrison, extremely similar to William Lloyd Garrison, and he was a white abolitionist.
You have nothing.
So but you think that I'm not?
You have to go. Will you be here at 5?
Hold on a second. Yes, but
we have to go to work.
No, it's not my job.
She has to go to work.
Hey, but do you really think that I'm not like Frederick Douglass because I'm white?
Don't look at me with your blue orbs right now.
Okay.
You say that.
What if I'm like What if I'm like William Lloyd Garrison, the editor of the Liberator?
Okay, I'll take you to work. Neither.
Well, I'm beyond Abraham Lincoln. I'm beyond Abraham Lincoln. He's kind of racist.
Oh,
he was. I mean, he had some issues.
Given all of this, right? Because yours is like, I understand that there is merit to religion within political systems, but that's why we have like a separation of church and state.
Well, I know there is, and that's why religious people can speak and non-religious people can speak, and they can talk to each other.
Okay, my greatest thing is that
I'm not forcing you on anything.
I don't think your whiteness or your religion does not permeate your argumentation and
what? I mean, I wanna.
But it permeates your argumentation. I don't think
my whiteness permeates my argument.
Yes.
Well, so the main person I follow is actually like Hebrew. He's not white either.
Hebrew?
Like he's like, you know.
Hebrew the language? Hebrew the people's
No, the main person I follow is not white. The person I most follow
Jesus.
is not white.
Okay.
The abolitionists that I'm saying that I'm alike in sort of action and daily involvement are black, white, and everything in between.
We'll be back at 5.
Just like
You guys
color,
have to go to work.
like color just, you should be able to assess something without color being, to the best of your ability, don't judge people based on the color of their skin.
Can I ask a personal question?
Yeah.
Do you just on your free time?
And my non-free time. I mean,
Oh, so it's a job.
no, I mean,
Hey?
not well. I make these signs.
Wow.
Oh, the art eats.
So that
the art ease. No, like you could be
The
a good
abo-
tattoo artist.
I could have been a tattoo artist, but instead I just put it on a sign and talked to you fine
chose
people.
To sit on
Stand
this college
the
campus.
of
Which-
Oklahoma
and spew.
University.
Well, not just this campus, but see, but that's,
Oh, he's worldwide.
I'm not,
He's
I-
worldwide.
Okay.
no, I'm not actually spewing. You can't find me spewing, but you can call it spewing. But here's the deal, it's another way. So you could say, hey, you know,
I gotta go.
Frederick Douglass is a mad talented writer, but you know what he did? He used his writing to do what? Fight for a cause.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to fight for a cause, right? What's wrong with that?
Do you believe in like Plan B?
If Plan B is killing humans, no. Why would I?
So what about like?
Why, I don't believe in terminating any human anywhere, unless you're the government and you've like tried them and they are beyond.
So you believe in the death penalty, but not
For rapists, even, yeah.
for rapists even?
Yep. See, you're for protecting rapists and I'm for protecting babies. You see how this kind of, you're nothing like Douglas and I am.
Wait, I'm not for rapists. What?
You don't want to punish rapists?
Yes.
I do.
I do want to punish. What?
Just come back.